Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us from different corners of the globe. It's a pleasure to be invited to speak about embracing self awareness and diversity for career success. And my name is Lucille Jade Galvan, Career Services Director at the Asian Institute of Management based out in the Philippines. Please allow me to speak about my background. I have had 18 years of work experience cumulatively in higher education career services, as well as in teaching and in corporate human resources across Asia. I've served in various universities as well, including Nanyang Technological University in Singapore and in the Asian University for Women in Bangladesh. But in my current role in career services at the Asian Institute of Management, I technically also help oversee the four schools within the Institute dealing with business, with technology, as well as development. In terms of education, I've been studying industrial relations, and my foundational education has been in psychology. But I've also had management training from the same institute, AIM, as well as in leadership from Harvard Graduate School of Education. Now, let me get into the topic of concern for today. We understand that this event is really marking a significant milestone in our collective journey towards inclusivity and equity, particularly in the professional world. So, I understand that also in our work in career services, it's quite a fast paced and ever changing, or you could say dynamic, type of profession. And self awareness can truly be not overstated because no matter the role, and particularly in leadership roles, it is the foundation upon which we build our careers. And when we even make informed decisions and navigate the complexities of our workplaces, self awareness allows us to understand our strengths, our weaknesses, our values, and our goals, and really push us into action in relation to our aspirations. It's not merely just knowing about it, but it's really action as well. Please allow me to share a bit about first at the Asian Institute of Management how we value diversity as well. Our students hail from various countries, 15 in fact, as we speak, and our alumni turn out to be working or living in 84 different countries across the globe. We've also have about almost half of our international faculty coming from various citizenships or nationalities as well. And this is how we truly value working and training through different lenses and hearing and collaborating a lot with people of diverse perspectives, experiences, and talents. So, what do I say when we talk about self awareness? Basically, career services professionals, it is our responsibility to advocate and implement a lot of our understanding about self awareness. But also, when we move forward in our careers, it is important that we understand that it is, in fact, the conscious knowledge of our character, feelings, motives, and desires. Because without that, it's very easy for us to be swayed and persuade without, really getting our emotional intelligence intact or even without getting our professional development um, pushed forward because normally with how much information there is being shared throughout the globe and in various social media channels, We tend to just be easily swayed by information or be easily swayed by the emotions that we discover or see in our environment. So, having self awareness would actually, in fact, help you enhance also not only your leadership skills, but leading towards it, your decision making and problem making skills. Because once you know what you value as a person and what the environment also requires, then you're able to actually not just sense what is right, but lean towards deciding on the correct decision and lean towards providing very clear communication and very reliable interpersonal relationships. This increases your adaptability and resilience once you know yourself, and that when you bring yourself into situations where there are other people whose beliefs, interests, among other things, could be different from your own. Self awareness also could be something that you reflect upon and that you journal and write about. This actually helps you process a lot of the things that you observe in your environment, but also a lot of emotions that you observe in yourself. And there is such a term as mindfulness as to not only being aware about how you're feeling and what you're thinking, but actually consciously willing, how you're reacting to things. And it's very imperative to seek out feedback from peers, from mentors and coaches for you to get that full 60-degree awareness about yourself. And of course, when you're embracing continuous learning and self assessment, it further develops your self awareness that could even lead sometime in the future into self mastery. So I just like to touch upon very quickly, the power of diversity, inclusion, and equity. It's because of diversity or the presence of differences within a given setting, inclusion, the practical or the practice of ensuring that people also feel valued and integrated into the community organization, or in simple terms, seen and heard, as well as equity or the fair treatment or access to opportunity and advancement for all people. And we notice this once we get out into the social space, right? We start out in schools, but end up in workplaces and at large within the communities at which we operate. And so when we are actually very clear about who we are as persons, then we could integrate our self awareness with that of the diversity required, particularly of work environments, as I would speak directly from exposure in my career in career services, where we actually liaise a lot of communication and coordination between students and the world of work. So, for career advancement, there are several avenues where, in terms of personal branding and authenticity, self awareness becomes key because you're able to develop your very unique personal brand and that you're also sure that whatever comes across is actually authentic and you are your true self. It's aligned with your values, it's aligned with your goals. Secondly, self awareness allows you to network and seek mentors that are also able to diversify even further your personal network or professional network, even. And by seeking mentors of diverse work environments, you're also enlightened more in terms of your career advancement. And continuous learning and adaptability, I cannot, emphasize this any more than it's actually very important by being informed, by staying informed about the diversity and of your respective workplaces or the workplace that you intend to be in sometime in the future, as well as in adapting to the changing workplaces and work environments that we are in. We know that just for some time, we've been doing work face to face fully, and then for a bit of time, we've been doing work in the virtual format. And now finally, we've learned to work in workplaces where we could actually do a hybrid type of setup. So, to conclude, I just want to emphasize as well that career success is really both a personal and a collective approach, which requires a lot of self awareness. Because, and without it, we are not going to be able to tread a path that is uniquely ours. Considering also the diversity, of the workplaces that we're in, not just by gender, but also by nationality, the diversity also in the belief system, for example, of the people we work with. There's so many aspects of diversity and inclusion that is necessary for various types of workplaces. And so, with your self awareness, you're actually able to respect that type of diversity inclusion and make sure that everyone is seen and heard and that everyone feels that they belong. As we navigate our professional paths, let's remember that we have to embrace the richness of the diverse perspectives, really, and the diversity and the power we have of what we know of ourselves. Because only through that could we also advance the perspectives of others. On that note, thank you very much for your time.